And we're live. How is that? Is it? We're good. Everybody's there. This is a different look, but look at this. Oh my! There's fantastic, beautiful women that are here. I'm very happy. Welcome everybody is watching. This is the Love Doctor live stream. I'm the Love Doctor. With me is the fantastic Miss Meow, Yael, Perez, as well as Wendy, Bonbons. How are you today? How are you both doing right now? Are you doing wonderful?
I mean, we're here, so how can we not be wonderful?
All right. How is my sound? If I go all Mr. Roboto, is that a problem?
I mean, it's a small problem, but I think we can try to work with it.
All right. Well, we're going to have to, because at this point in time, I don't think I can pull the computer apart. I'm freezing a little, which I know you. Yeah, staring at me is not a good thing. So there's so many other people in this room that are great to chat with. And for those of you just tuning in, say hello, put your names in the comments, press the like. It's that corner. I need a drink. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Miss Meow, what did you make yourself to drink tonight?
Today, I did this thing where all I did was pour from a bottle, and I have a glass of scotch.
Nice. Magic.
Yes.
Magic. It is created. Wendy Bonbons was there last week when I explained how where the word whiskey comes from.
I heard that. I watched. That? I tuned in.
Oh, that's right. You were commenting.
I was
there. You were doing.
I watched.
Cheers. Love the people that watch. Welcome everybody. We have another Perez is mentioned to say hello.
My sister.
It's Eliza. Is it not? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah. It's Eliza.
Eliza.
Hi.
All right. Hello, Eliza. Yeah. Welcome. Thank you for coming. My sunglasses are actually broken at this time too, so they're moving in an odd. I just don't want to pop out the lens. It'd be bad thing if somebody could see my eyes. It is not my night. It's not. Oh, and the heat has been horrible. But I got out last night. I saw a couple of little streaks. I don't mean naked people running through the streets, but the Perseus were up in the sky. So it was a chance to watch a few. Wendy, from your vantage point at the far eastern end of Canada, were you able to see any of the Perseus last night? Did you go to see them?
I did look, but unfortunately, as per tradition here in Newfoundland, we were swamped with the fog, so I saw nothing.
Oh,
I loved how you said nothing. Nothing. I didn't even say nothing right. It's nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, all right. I want to say hello to Denny Leger, who's just popped in. Hello, Denny.
Hi.
Welcome. My mouse is acting slow, so I'm gonna hopefully everything's gonna go well. I hope everyone is good. We are expecting to get a little bit of an announcement coming from the Wiggle Room in the next little while. So everyone, keep your fingers crossed and your ears to the ground, because we're gonna have some information for you as soon as we can. And I'm drinking from this mug, which I cover up the there we are, the logo.
It's very on brand.
Good.
It's very on brand.
It is very, very on brand, and people can get their own as well.
Yeah,
there is a little bit of a theme. We got your cards in there, so I don't know. Do we need the cards in there yet? Are we going? Has anything interesting happened to the two of you this week? So we got shrugs.
I'm just like it's a week. I don't know.
It's true. It's a Wednesday. All right. I guess then we're going to be moving into the cards, and it's the little kitty cat that is Denny Leger is offering to chase my mouse, so it goes fast.
Oh, that's cute.
Which is it's the stops and starts that it's doing. That's not been so good. I'll have to I reconfigure things. It's a wireless mouse, and I got to figure that the wire is actually. Or the little receiver is just surrounded by too much metal to actually pick everything up. I've got the cards here. Should we go to the cards? I've become a hand model at this point. Yeah. All right, here we are. Oh, it's red. You're sending red ink. All right. What country All right, I'm not going to even bother trying to make that straight. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger. What country do you think has the best lovers? We'll go with Wendy first on this one. What do you think?
I don't think I've experienced enough love from every country to make a sound decision. I think I will need more time to formulate my answer.
All right, take more time and experience. Ms. Meow,
I like that answer.
You like that answer? Both of those are
I like
fine
that answer. I mean, I'm super content to say that I guess I just need to make my way further down the list of countries, and then I can answer you. Any volunteers?
Well,
after COVID's over. Yeah.
After COVID's over. That's a very important distinction.
I'm a slut, but I'm a responsible slut.
Ethical. We did say ethical at this point too.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm fairly old, so I've traveled a good bit, but I have moved to Canada. But I also like to take it on a person by person basis. I don't want to automatically assume just because they're Canadian, they know what they're doing. Between the beaver pelts. Did I say beaver pelts? I'm not proud of that moment. I just. All right, between the flannel sheets is flannel. Can I say flannel? Is it insulting for me to say flannel? To you? Do you don't find that derogatory? At least I'm not calling it denim.
I mean, you're just talking about sheets, right?
Right, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know what? It's time for me to get a little bit more of a drink. So I've got my mix here, and this is
all right.
You know what? I just realized with the change in the setup and the angle and everything, you all see exactly what I'm mixing and drinking. So this is
true.
This is a lot less.
Are you drinking your breakfast gin again?
I am. I am. I'm just putting some fresh ice. I busted my camera. That's an antique camera that I just sort of accidentally knocked the front off of. That's not. All right, this has not been a good day. For all of you people who are out there, I have these lovely people here to chat with. If you want to make this a good day, say hello. Bring in, chat with us. Say how you're feeling. What's a good thing about today? Let us know something good is happening today. So we have, I have a little something to look forward to. And I have my breakfast gin. There we go. All right, Jesus. This is, here's something. No, I think I've already mentioned that because it's been 2 weeks now. But you have the Robert Altman passed away, and he did. He was an American director, but he managed to do a few Irish films, including The Commitments, which that's what I need to do. I need to watch The Commitments to just make my day a little bit better. So at some point, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, I'm going to watch that. It's a good film. Did we already? That doesn't look like a question. How did I get this question?
No, you didn't read it. Yeah.
All right. What is the best and most amazing sexual experience the Love Doctor has ever had? That's going to be hard for you two to answer. Without giving away secrets. I'm not sure. What's it? I'd like to say the next one. That would be a good one to say. But I've had there's too many to pick from. When you have a connection with your partner and everything is going right and just a little bit dirty, and you find yourself doing things like you might not normally have done. Elisa said it's definitely been a day. It definitely has been a day. When you feel like biting when you don't normally, you're not a biter. When you feel like everything, when you exhaust yourself and your partner, that is probably that's the best sexual experience, I'm gonna have to say. And I don't think I could pick one out of the history, and still, just go for exhaustion. Exhaustion is a wonderful thing. It's trying to get me in trouble here. I'm not sure. actually doing. We're gonna just. I like how Wendy is smiling and sort of blushing at me right now. Yael is just sort of looking at me, going, "What is he going on about?" I mean,
No, I'm
I'm
like,
not
this is
sure.
really cute.
All right. See, look at me. I'm blushing. Look at that. I'm turning into the same color as the red in the heart. We're just all right. Flipping over another card here. Where it's just I'll get so we can't see my red face at this point. If I were a stripper, what would your stage name be? Contact or no contact? I think the official rule would probably be no contact. But it depends on who I'm stripping for, I would suppose. I currently with the COVID, what the COVID is doing to my body at this point, not the COVID, but the quarantining and not being able to get out as often as much. I think I'd call myself Cheesecake, the realistic man, just because I feel like parts of my body have the texture of cheesecake, which is probably not the most attractive thing, even though cheesecake is pretty wonderful.
Cheesecake's awesome.
Cheesecake is very awesome. So both of you are burlesque performers, which is not stripping. It is the art of tease. Have you ever thought of what a stripper name would be if you were ever to do?
Let me just correct you there.
Okay, go right ahead.
Making such a distinction between burlesque and stripping isn't really completely accurate. Burlesque is a form of stripping. Burlesque has its roots in stripping. Burlesque is, I would say, still a form of sex work. It's maybe sexy work. So I don't know. As a burlesquer, we don't look down on strippers. We respect them, and I don't think it's fair to say it's completely different. Sorry, it was a lot more eloquent in my head. Yeah,
I completely understand, and I when I was saying it, because I was going, it's not, but it is, but it's. And I think we just lost the card.
We do strip.
True. Wendy, what's your thoughts on it? You're being very quiet.
I have a lot of respect for anybody who can exercise on a pole, because I very much so lack the body strength. I think if I were to change my name and pursue maybe a different avenue than I'm going now, I feel like Miss Vienna Sausage.
Miss Vienna Sausage. That would probably go in with the world traveling as well. Just get to Vienna. By the way, if anyone wants to ask any questions anonymously, you can send it to the fan page for the Love Doctor. So you can go to the Love Doctor fan page and send a message, and it will come in anonymously if you so wish. David Leger is saying his stripper name would be Mr. Stripper.
Oh, I like that.
Keeping
all about the cat puns.
There we are. Well, let's move on to another question. But you were definitely right to call me out on that. Yeah. And
sorry.
That is no. I said you were definitely right to do so.
No, I know, but I'm still sorry. I don't know.
I have
not always
card.
comfortable with calling people out.
We have a problem with the card camera. And let's try this again. Oh, there is a ton of bad with this. What's it telling me now? All right, we gotta mute that because it. Oh no, that's even the wrong camera.
Why don't you just read the questions out loud?
I suppose that's what I'm going to have to do, and it'll save the battery on the phone. See, I'm doing it from the phone, and the phone being another client in here. Let's see this. Dear Love Doctor, my girlfriend is bi-curious. What the hell do I do? My mother raised me to stay away from naughty girls, and my dad raised me to find one help. I'm sorry, I'm a little offended by the question.
We didn't catch the full question.
No, I kind of
because you sort of cut in and out your audio.
All right, I'm having definitely technical issues tonight, so I apologize on many different levels. Dear Love Doctor, my girlfriend is bi-curious. What the hell do I do? Well, you love her, then she's your girlfriend. That should end the question right there. And then they double down and say, my mother raised me to stay away from naughty girls, and my dad raised me to find one. Help. I think, personally, I think you'd be happy that you're in a relationship. Make sure that you communicate it to define the roles on it. The fact that you are dating somebody who's bisexual or even bi-curious means they chose you when they're attracted to people of multiple genders, and that in itself is a compliment. I'm not even using the word gender properly, but like that in itself is a compliment. They chose you. Respect the fact that they chose you, and be happy that they chose you, and don't try to stigmatize them in any way. What are your thoughts, my fantastic guests? Or am I still warbly? Should I be singing a stick song?
We caught what you said, most of it.
Yeah. All right. Is this Mr. Roboto's time? I'm not positive. Just no. All right.
Here, Wendy, you want to go first?
Sure. I think that if you have a partner that's interested in anything new, it's great to have a conversation with that, especially if it's something that you maybe have a lot of questions about or have a lot of thoughts on yourself. You are working as a team when you're in a partnership with somebody, and you can't have a successful team without communicating. So if that's something that this person is concerned about, I'd say talk to their partner. With regards to their parents, I know lots of people were raised with ideals that they may not necessarily want to continue forward. So if this person is interested in pursuing the interest that their partner has and being open to it, it may be time to revisit what you think about the opinions that were shared with you on that, and if you agree with them, because then that'll might clash with what you're trying to work in your partnership.
That was very well put. Yeah.
I agree. Communication is what's most important. And, if you know that your partner identifies in such a way, it's up to you to maybe discuss it with them, see what they're interested in trying together, see what you're open to. There's nothing wrong with people's identity. So just because your parents had a view on people's sexuality doesn't mean you have to share that view. I read something recently, I can't remember the exact wording, but basically the gist of it is you can't control the kind of family that you come from, but you can control that whether or not you create a good family and an open family going forward. So
life goals right there. Yeah, that is definitely Absolutely. A good one. All right. I really should screen these cards. Dear Love Doctor, what is a good boob size? One that your partner, the one that you're comfortable with. All of them are pretty. The ones that are willing. That's a bad way to put it, but it's that's if you're with somebody. You know what? I don't know if it's a sign of age or whatever, but there was always growing up, there was somebody saying, oh, I'm a leg man, or I'm a breast man, or I'm a butt person, or whatever. The thing is, those are lumps of meat. It's the people inside that are what's most important. And you got to be attracted to that. And what comes with is all just bonus at that point.
Mm-hmm. All boobs Agreed. Are good.
All boobs are good boobs. And I'm growing a good pair right now. Thank you, COVID. That's true. I was chubby before this. All right. This is another one. Not so great. Curves or bones? That is so strange that has become X-ray to be able to see through. Curves or bones?
That's a really terrible question.
It is, and it's making me think that there's a lot of terrible people out there. But I know that there are,
but there are also lots of wonderful people.
And what we have to do is try to normalize being kind. Is that too much with everything that's happening in this world, all the news, all the every kind of moment?
If we don't have kindness, we don't have anything. And I think it's more important to be kind than to care about whether someone is curvy or a stick.
Exactly. And as long as people are being healthy and taking care of themselves, because I mean, you can be thin and healthy, you can be curvy and healthy, as long as you're taking care of yourself. If you are with your partner, I'm not sure, but I'm hearing a lot of like, sounds like somebody's chewing on a microphone. Is anyone else hearing that?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know what it is, but I hear it too.
Okay.
Do any of you have a pet?
No, not that I would call them that. There is everybody has earbuds in or using headphones
I
of some
don't.
sort? Oh, you're
I don't.
okay, because it could be it's just your mic is picking up the noise that's coming out of your speakers, and that would cause a little bit of feedback. But
I don't know.
we'll just see. All right, I got the next one. I'm just gonna try something while I'm doing this. Dear Love Doctor, why do? All right, here we go with another question.
Yeah,
why
I
do
don't think
man
it was my mic.
No, and I'm just gonna try and. Oh, now we don't have it now that and we with Wendy has
So it
muted
was
her
on Wendy's
microphone. It's on Wendy's end, so
Okay.
there whether something's brushing up against the microphone or not. But here's a question: is why do and this is one of the things I love about the Wiggle Room is the fact that though the show is primarily in English, it's accepting and welcoming of all languages. It's the person who wrote this. I would have to say English was not their first language. So I'm just going to hold it up right there. Why do man don't give a woman an orgasm? And at that point, it's like orgasms are usually good orgasms are a team effort. But at the same time, if a person is trying and the other person, this is. All right, Daniel Leger is saying, I'm having a weird night. This has been a weird day, and I apologize if I'm off here. And there's a lot of static distortion coming from your end. It's from my end. All right, if you guys want to take that, we'll try muting my mic, but I'm not hearing it anymore. No one else is hearing it?
No, I think the sound was from Wendy, but your end is still a little staticky and choppy.
All right, let me just try connecting the wires. No, that is in there tight. And let's see.
That's what she said.
Hello. All right. And but thank you very much for Mazel Tov. He's watching this on Twitch, by the way. Twitch, which is one of our new destinations. Mazel Tov. I'm hoping that clears it up a little bit. I'm just playing with buttons, but I cannot hear myself over myself at this point.
Seems a little better.
It is a little bit better. All right. And the crackly noise is gone now, is what Denny is saying. And there's a very embarrassed Wendy who's going to try to do the rest of the show in sign language. But we're
just mine.
Thank you.
Yep.
That is all right. So the question being is, all right. First off, there's some problems. I love the fact that somebody is doing the effort to try to communicate to me the language that I apparently speak best. But at the same time, they're generalizing that all men can't give any women orgasms, and that's a generalization. At the same time, there's a lot of shitty men who don't even make the attempt, and there's also people who have difficulty having orgasms with their partner, and that's if that's your normal and that's okay, and you're okay with it, then that is okay. Don't feel pressure. Putting the pressure on it will probably, it's self-defeating. It'll make it more difficult for you to actually make the attempt to go through and have that orgasm. But at the same time, talk with your partner so they know what you like. Show them, right? And if they're not interested in learning, then they're not interested enough in you for you to accept them into your bed. or
It's
couch
very
or
true.
backseat of car, wherever it is. No judgments. All right, Ms. Meow, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. The orgasm gap between men and women is huge, pun intended. And I think the first step towards helping that would be remembering that sex shouldn't be about orgasm. It should be about the journey and about experiencing something together. And when you make it about the orgasm, you put extra pressure on each other. And if you have trouble orgasming, I mean, most women do. There's so many women who can't come from penetration, who can only come from stimulating themselves, who can only come with a toy. There's so many factors, and if you make it all about whether or not you come, you're taking the fun out of it sometimes. And that's also how and why a lot of women fake orgasms, because of that extra pressure. But I think that's a whole other monster.
It is a monster that I'm not. Yeah, that for me that's a bit of a pet peeve, because if you fake an orgasm, you're teaching your partner that that's good enough.
Yeah, and I don't think people should. I don't think we should fake them. I think we should talk about them. But I mean, I've faked a few. I think we all have.
And well, yeah, I have. So that's not a joke. So yeah, men can fake them as well. So Wendy, do you have thoughts?
Okay, we'll give it a go. It doesn't sound too bad right now.
No, we're good.
Good. I think that a lot of what I would have said has already been covered, but I think that communication is something, again, like everything for me just comes back to communication. A lot of people don't take time to have the conversations before they're engaging in sex, to see what the other person would like, explore that. A lot of people don't know what they like, and that's something worth exploring too. And it's such a beautiful journey to have with somebody. And I think that as long as the communication happens, that will hopefully help. But yeah, there is a huge issue with the gap on orgasms happening between men and women.
I'd like to point out too that there is a thing. Oh, and the crackle is back. There is a thing too about what Wendy had mentioned about having a partner who's willing to explore. As I'm a little bit older and I've dated people who are older, when you meet that person who just goes, "Oh, this is what I like," and then they don't want to try anything else, so then sex becomes a paint by number. Then that's not entertaining either. Then the journey becomes a bit of a chore, and it's not as fun. And again, it's not about the destination; it is about the journey. And I'm pulling up another question here. I should really read these ahead of time. How do I become more seductive? How do I become more seductive is the
You
question.
take burlesque classes with arabesque burlesque. That's
Most
how.
definitely. Arabesque Burlesque does provide classes here in Montreal. If you're
Well,
not
and
living
online. You can take the classes online from anywhere in the world.
right, because
Yes.
of social distancing, that's it. Something that
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
So anywhere in
They
the
have
world,
some amazing classes. It's not just about performing an act on stage. They have fitness classes that are just geared towards being more sensual in your body. So you should all check them out. It's for any gender. It's not just for, people identifying as femme.
And I've just put the name up there so you know what to Google. So it's Arabesque Burlesque, and it's right there. Definitely, that will teach you some of the tools. The other thing is listening. Listen to your partner, and I don't just mean listen to what they say, but listen to how they react to certain touches. Listen to how they moan if you're together. I, there we go. All right. I thought you were being attacked by a duck. There was just I was
I was opening my bottle of scotch. I tried to be quiet. I should have muted the mic. Sorry.
no. It gave me the chance to mention ducks. There is. But there is, yeah. Again, it's listening to what the partner likes. Listen to what they say. I, I have a partner who for them, kindness is a turn on, and
Kindness
that
is sexy.
kindness is sexy, and there's not everyone will agree with that, but in the idea of being kind and being kind to others, uh, it kind of works, and being kind around them, to not just to them but to the people in their life, is it scores points, and not intentionally just doing it just for that. It's part of who I am, but uh, the fact that that is its own way of being seductive. Well, it's a nice trade-off. I'm kind of happy with it. I'm not
I
sure.
like that.
If anyone has any questions too, you can always write them in the chat, and we'll be able to bring them on. And if you want to make it anonymous, you can always go to Facebook to the Love Doctor fan page. So that's facebook.com/LD1969, and you can send it anonymously if you don't want your name associated with the questions. Wendy, do you have any advice more than what we just said?
I think you covered most of it on that one.
All right, then we'll move on. We have a Mazel Tov. Said, to be honest, it's hard to start up a good duck conversation. It definitely is. So I think everybody needs a good.
Here's a great duck conversation. So when I was a kid, I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong. There was this joke that we used to always do in my family called "Wanna buy a duck," and there was this whole back and forth, and there was like a script to it. And you'd have to ask. I don't know why I'm sharing this. And you would ask the other person, "Do you want to buy a duck?" And they'd have to ask you, "Does it quack?" And you'd say, "Of course it quacks." And there was a whole thing, and I don't remember all of it, but it was funny. And that is how you start a duck conversation. Want to buy a duck.
You want to buy a duck. All right.
And if my sister's still watching and she remembers it, please type it in the chat. And I'm just going to sit here and laugh at myself for a little bit. Yep.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You want to buy a duck? A what?
A what?
A duck.
A duck.
That sounds like a great game. All right.
She's continuing.
Yeah. Does it quack?
And then you say, Elisa, type faster. Of course it quacks. Oh, okay, and then it starts again.
Of course it quacks.
Thank you. And that's how you talk about ducks.
That's how you talk about ducks.
We were really weird kids. Yeah. Still are.
My family did weirder things, I'm pretty sure. All right. What do you do if an... All right, I hope this isn't inappropriate, just going from the first line. What do you do if an Italian guy at my job interests me? All right. This goes into one of my danger zones when it comes to talking to people. What do I do if an Italian guy at my job interests me? It doesn't matter the nationality. If it is somebody at work, if you manage to hook up with somebody at work, it's automatically a three-way, because you're involving HR.
Yep.
And HR are not very giving lovers. So you want to make sure. I'm not sure what Lisa said there. But it was. So yeah, HR, anyone at work, it's kind of dangerous. If you want to be leaving that work or whatever, you can always ask them to go out, see how the conversations are at work before you go, and ask them for maybe a coffee or go for a drink, or hey, I'm getting fired party, and to see what happens. But as long as you're working together, you have to recognize the danger of having that accidental three-way with HR. Wendy, what would be your thoughts?
I'm going to have to get you to read the question a little bit for me again, because you cut out on my end.
All right. It's, what do you do if an Italian guy at my job interests me? That's the phrasing. I'm reading it as it was written.
I think that if somebody interests you and you're comfortable, talk to them. But I do agree with you that things can get a little tricky. Kind of just like how I like to keep my favorite places stress-free, like my favorite coffee shops. I would like to keep my job personally in the same regard. So it kind of depends on that person's preference, in my opinion. If they want to not bother having any potential issues at work, I would avoid it. But if they think it's worth pursuing, maybe they are considering changing jobs eventually because they care about this person so much.
Maybe.
Point taken, point taken. Ms. Meow?
I'll take another approach to it. Let's take out the at work. So let's say the question is just, there's this person that's interested in me. What do I do? Well, you talk to them. And if you're not interested, you tell them you're not interested. And if you're interested, you tell them you're interested. It's this really cool thing called communication.
True. And I may be misinterpreting the question and thinking that it is somebody they work with, but if maybe they're regular at the store that they work at, it could be a client. So at that point, it's
there's so many possibilities.
Again, exactly. Communication is key to find out exactly where everyone stands. I'm kind of surprised we're not getting as many questions as normal in there. Not heard from Christopher yet either, which is strange. Christopher Bashak, I hope you're both well. Dear Love Doctor, I fell in love with a married man. What should I do? Can kill his wife be an option?
No.
No. Any love that requires you to kill somebody else is not a great love. Euthanasia not included, because that is the most painful kind of love at that point. Then in cases, some people get married with people they met at work, and it's true. But it's assuming the danger of involving HR, because HR is not there to protect the human resources. They're there to protect the companies. Makes me think that many people are too shy to ask strangers out. It's possible, but it's also the fact that because they're forced to communicate with them, they get to know them a little bit better. Miss Meow, what would be your take on the question that we just had, though?
About falling in love with a married man is killing the wife appropriate? No.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, I've been in situations with married men, and I can tell you from experience and from anecdotal evidence from other people and lots of reading, generally, your soulmate isn't someone who's already married to someone else. Generally, I mean, I don't know. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Why are you hurting people? Unless it's a polyamorous situation, there's a whole other, ball game. But if you have to ask the kind of question where you want to know if it's appropriate, even if you're joking, to kill the person's wife, the answer is no.
No, exactly. Wendy, what's your thoughts?
I think love can be really messy sometimes, and you don't always get to choose who you happen to fall for. So unfortunately, there are people who will fall for somebody that they maybe doesn't morally is unavailable to them. Not everyone's willing to cross that line, and maybe it might cause them extreme distress. But I do think, again, that's the wonderful thing about love, is that it's not always the beauty in the nice kind of way. Sometimes it's the beauty in the pain. And loving somebody from afar is still just as beautiful sometimes. So if there is somebody that you cannot pursue because they are married, maybe that may be the option. In terms of the joke about killing their partner, I do very much so think that's a type of rage that right now you do not want to channel into. And maybe meditation might be a better way to deal with that anger you may be experiencing from the forbidden fruit.
I do want to take the time right now to mention Wendy Bonbons is accepting donations at paypal.me, Wendy Bonbons. And Yael Kitten has donations that can be set up via her Linktree account. So it's linktr.ee/Yael Kitten. So that's there. And there's the one, if you want to support the channel, is right at the bottom. So if you care to support the channel, it's right there. It's if you type in that link tree, the very first one is buy me a drink, and this time Sanche. No one else is raising a glass. I feel a little all right. Put out.
There was a delay.
Oh, there was okay. Oh, there is. Daniel J said, if a married person is willing to give up their current mate for you, why would he or she not give you up for another? I'm sorry, I just caught that. It was a little weird thing where Wendy reached up like this, and Yael reached down at the exact same time, and it almost looked like you were passing things between the windows. It was
clearly we're passing notes in class.
You're passing notes. So basically, Daniel Leger is questioning the I don't want to say morals, but the stability of somebody who's willing to give up their wife for you at the same time. And again, it goes down to the communication skills too. If they're not willing to work it out with their partner, if anything happens between you and them, are they going to not be willing to work it out with you? And going on to another one, I love the handwriting on this. It's not exactly neat, but it's very up and down, very strict. Dear little doctor, I have trouble relating to women in North America. What's the deal with them? Please help a fellow lonely in Montreal. I think. Sorry, lonely in Montreal immigrant is what it says. All right, I was afraid it might have been a name. That is, again, it's communication and being open. Not everyone's going to fall for somebody with an accent, and that's okay. You probably, if they're only interested in you because of the accent, then you've got an uphill battle to climb afterwards. Get to know people and communicate with them. Do things that you enjoy that are group activities, even if it's a book club, because then you'll be meeting like-minded people and you'll have a discussion point to start with, and then you can get to know them, and that is fine. But Montreal is also a fun party city, so to be totally lonely in Montreal is that's a little hard. Miss Meow, do you want to answer any of that? I feel like I'm not giving good advice tonight.
Oh, again, communication is key. And if you feel like you're not connecting with North American women specifically, you just maybe have to look at how you're connecting, like how you're communicating with them, how you're attempting to connect. And start with a simple conversation. Or like you were suggesting, do activities in groups, meet people who share your interests already. It does make things easier.
It definitely does.
You know, maybe your fears and your hesitations are unfounded. It's entirely possible.
And Wendy.
Yeah, I think if you're having trouble connecting with the people that you're trying to engage with, maybe take some time to look at who you're trying to engage with. As somebody who maybe not from that far, but I moved to Montreal from Newfoundland, it does get pretty lonely sometimes. In a city filled with people, sometimes you find yourself not having somebody to talk to, and that can be a little disheartening sometimes. But again, it's important to reach out to, as you mentioned, to the areas that you are comfortable with. So if you do have a hobby you like, you are much more inclined to meet people while you're enjoying that hobby, having a good time, than you are just walking about, I find. So really immerse yourself into your surroundings, and then you can engage with the people around you. And as Yael mentioned, you might have to revisit how you are engaging with the people that you're hoping to pursue.
Those are both great answers. I want to thank you very much for giving them. I have another question here is, dear Love Doctor, I have a BDSM scene this week. It's my first private scene, and it's at my place. Should I wine and dine my play partner first? Each scene in itself should be different. You want to be comfortable, but you don't want to drink so much that there may be some kind of impairment. You want to make sure that safe words are being respected, etc. But I think maybe wining and dining the night before or the day before is fine so you're comfortable with the person. If you're not comfortable with the person, having a BDSM scene is kind of it's your choice at that point whether or not you feel comfortable. Personally, I would like to be comfortable and know the person a little bit better first. Miss Meow, since your microphone is on, I'll probably go to you first. What's your
Sure.
thoughts?
Should you wine and dine them first? So let's say you already know this person, you've already played with them before, you know you are comfortable together, and you're just wondering, should we be eating and drinking before we have our scene? You don't want to drink too much because, again, you were saying, you don't want to cloud judgment. You want to make sure that you're aware enough to use a safe word if needed. But also, speaking from experience, let's say you're going to be tied up for a while. You don't want to eat that much before. That's not comfortable.
Exactly. Digesting at the same time is not.
Yeah,
no.
eat light. Eat light.
Eat light. Wendy, would be your thoughts?
I think it's always good to be as safe as possible when exploring play such as BDSM, especially if you have put in the time to plan out a scene. In my mind, I like to make sure that alcohol wouldn't prohibit something that maybe I could have explored further. There's a lot of different ways that you will feel things, a lot of different ways that you'll interpret things when you're sober versus when you're drinking, even if it's just a few drinks sometimes. And in terms of eating, I think, as Yael mentioned, sometimes you're going to want to make sure, depending on your play, that you're setting yourself up for a successful round of play. And if you are somebody that is going to be engaging in something that's really warm, a lot of heavy movement, maybe you don't want to have a feed of jigs before you go at it. But it's just, again, planning ahead. If you're taking the time to plan out this scene, you're going to want to think about how you're going to be feeling during it too. The same as you would for an appointment, going to get a tattoo, or what you're going to wear to go get your hair done. You want to have a good time.
Exactly. Yep. To make it the best for you. Again, Denis Leger, referring to the previous question, Denis Leger said a great way for immigrants to ease into a new culture is meetup groups like language sharing, dancing, or any hobby you may have, which I think reiterating what was said by the panel here. So yeah, again, I wanted to point out that if you Google helplines or mental health lines for Montreal, there is a number of various numbers with different specialties that you can call, and be it crisis intervention or even just 211 as well. So we get some practical. Mazel is saying it's very practical answers, and we want to say welcome to Yun. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correct. Is it Yunez Nador? Yunez Nador, welcome. Thank you for watching. We have another question we're going to get to is what's the difference between love and love? So there's not an accent difference, or even it doesn't seem to be an accent. I don't know why that is. Maybe is it visible a little bit without going see through? What's the difference between love and love? You can. I'm not sure. There's many types of loves. Some people use love for like very much, but then there's love as in passion, and there's love as in love making, and then there's also love as in the deep spiritual connection you could have with someone. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual relationship when you say that type of love. Welcome from Morocco. Yunez Nador is
Welcome.
watching all the way from Morocco. Welcome to the show. We're based in North America, but if you have any questions about love, sex, and relationships, we'd be happy to answer. What is your thoughts on the different types of love, Wendy?
I think that love is ever evolving. I don't have a whole lot of love experience under my belt, but I feel like there are many different types of levels of love that you can experience even with one person. I personally have been in the romantic sense of love with somebody, and things didn't work out in that way, and then we ended up growing to love each other very much as friends. A very, very lovely companionship. So I think that the difference between love and love is kind of different in many circumstances. There's so many different types of love. But it is ever evolving, and you are ever evolving and changing. So that's going to change and grow with you.
Miss Meow.
Exactly what she said.
I
can't word that any better than Wendy just did. Except maybe adding in that I think the love you have for different people is always different. There's no such thing as having the exact same love with two people. You can't recreate the love that you had with one person with another. So even in that same type of love, of, let's say in this case romantic love, it's never going to be the same. You're always going to have something different, and you shouldn't try to recreate things.
I also, it's kind of a weird thing, because I think language sort of forms thought. I mean, as much as we say we think and then we put it into language, it sort of only gets concrete edges once we put it into language. And I'm not positive, but I believe it's Russian has actually 3 different words for blue, and so they see 3 different colors when we would just generally say it's blue or a different shade of blue. I'm so surprised that human beings have not come up with more words for love. I mean, there's passion, there's love, there's lust, but I think there's probably should be more, because there's many more shades of love than just one.
Well, I think there are some other ways to say I love you, like telling someone get home safe. Did you eat today? You know, checking in with people, making sure they're okay. Messaging a friend in the morning going, you've got a nice butt. That's the same way of saying I love you. At least in my friend circles.
No, that's true. But I'm saying the word that we use to describe love, not the words we use to show. I'm talking about love. Sarah Lalazar is there. The amazingly talented Sarah Lalazar, and Yunus is actually speaking Arabic, and unfortunately,
I don't speak Arabic. I'm sorry.
Inshallah, I know very few Arabic words.
I know some swear words, but I won't say them on the internet live.
It's probably be good. I have an ex-wife whose name was an Arabic word, which was zaytun, which is olives. Which is weird, because I come from a nautical family, and that means I'm Popeye, like 7 generations of sailor. And here we go. I don't know. This did not appear from last week. For anyone who watched last week, this is not a question that's left over. Well, it's left over because it wasn't asked last week. Like Wendy knows exactly what this question is. What do you want to? Can you prove to be psychic, Wendy? What do you think this question is?
I think I may need to be careful, because masturbation may cause blindness.
So just to see. Does masturbation cause blindness? That is the question, and the answer is very succinctly no. I'm not wearing these dark glasses because I've gone blind, and we've got Muslim says he wishes somebody would tell him that he has a nice butt in the morning.
Oh.
Muzzle, I'm sure you have a nice butt, not just in the morning, but all day long. And he does have a very nice butt. He's very proud of his butt. So a Mazel Tov cocktail. You have a nice butt. Very proud of it. It's probably better than Captain America's in whatever Avengers movie that was, where he was called America's butt. Right. This one is in French, but it's got a translation on the back. My husband is going away for work for 6 months. What will happen to our love? What will happen to the love is all dependent on the amount of work that both of you are putting into it. And that is what will happen to the love. There's some people that says distance makes the heart grow fonder. Other people says it grows fungus. I think you need to work on the longing, because that is a wonderful thing. I know it's not morning yet, Mazel Tov, but yes, you have a nice butt. I just want to make sure that gets out there and in his brain. This face is saying that Mazel Tov has a nice butt. There is, but that's just it. When there's distance, there has to be communication. You can even, appear to be distance if you're staying in the same house night after night, day after day. If you're not communicating with each other, if you're ignoring each other, if you're not being considerate to each other, in that way, you're growing distance. So the idea is, whether there's a physical distance, is to not treat it like there's a physical distance, to make sure that you are communicating. Make sure you text for when they're waking up, you have a nice butt. Whatever the butt comment could be that makes it happen, and that is what it's going to be. And again, mazel tov. That's a nice butt. Miss Meow, what is your thoughts?
Learn how to video chat. Having been in long distance relationships, that was a huge part of making the relationships work while they worked. And don't be shy to, if you miss the other person, tell them. If you're thinking about them, tell them. If you see something during your day that you want to share with them, share it with them. Don't hold back, because then you're just going to make the other person feel like you don't care about them while they're gone. So communication, and don't be shy to be sexy in new ways with each other if you don't want to lose that connection.
And technology has progressed to the point that where communication,
Absolutely.
unless the person's in Antarctica or in the space station, and there's just a limit. Imagine if they're in the space station, though. They have pretty good technology and access to satellites. But whatever, if they're someplace where they have like media blackouts for a certain length of time, even sending a bunch of messages so they all get them at once is fine. There's actually sex toys that can work at a distance thanks to Bluetooth technology.
Yeah, with an app on your phone and stuff like that.
Exactly. These are all things. If it's the physical side that you're worried most about, but remember the communication, because the physical doesn't really connect as well if the brain doesn't connect with it at the same time. Wendy.
Unmuting. I think distance can provide a wonderful opportunity for growth. If it's something that you're worried about, again, just like any other situation between two people, communication is key. You can't navigate something in the dark. Communication will provide a little bit of light to what you both are feeling. And I have personally been in some long distance relationships as well. And it is an amazing opportunity to learn new ways to communicate with each other, new ways to navigate when you are missing somebody, when you're feeling lonely, when you want to have a long distance date. Quarantine has provided an opportunity for a lot of people to figure out ways to successfully be intimate, even though there's distance. So it's really how you want to view it. Maybe you have a different dynamic and you want to discuss your poly relationship while your partner's gone, things like that. But again, everything comes back down to communication. And I am one of those people that does believe that absence makes the heart grow fonder at times. But everybody has their needs, and again, it's communicating your needs.
Again, yes, and definitely it's communicating your needs. It's also, travel can be lonely for some people, and if they don't have that grounding point of a partner who can communicate, if somebody's not willing to spend a couple seconds writing a text or sending a picture of part of their day to you, then how do you feel that they're doing it while you are present? If they're not present and they can still keep that up, if they're not respecting you to give you that while they're away, or while or while you do it while they're away, etc., and you're not showing the respect that the relationship truly deserves. Okay, we want to say hi to Tim Rocliffe, who just signed in. Sarah Lalazar, people take for granted the power of communication. Communication,
absolutely.
Just even if you're not living with your partner, just to wake up in the morning, send them a little heart on Facebook Messenger, so even Mark Zuckerberg knows that you're in love with them. That is fine. That is good. The technology is there. And Mazel Tov is saying hi to Tim Rocliffe. So yeah, we see there's
Mazel Tov's making a new friend. Maybe Tim can tell him that he's got a nice butt in the mornings.
There we are, Tim. That is a possibility that could be happening. I'm supposed to be reading a question, but I'm pouring a drink at this time. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone. This has just been a shit day for me. I'm not. I don't know what. it's not been a good day. I'm having a hard time coordinating everything, and I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm going to be reading. I'd like to read this question. It's a little. I don't know if that can be made out at all, but that's a lipstick smudge that's on a card, and that was a lovely card to receive, but it's been smudged because it's been there. Look, here's the back of the card that was next to it. You can see sort of like there's the lipstick is smudged onto it as well. And we got there. Tim Rockcliffe is going back to Moz as well. See, look, communication. People are able to communicate anywhere. Sarah Lollos are saying, "Dear Love Doctor, how do you deal with jealousy?" You have to understand where your jealousy is coming from, and you have to understand why you feel the jealousy. Sometimes the jealousy might be a warning sign to you. Other times the jealousy might be showing that you're too possessive, that you're holding the person in too tightly. If you are jealous of innocent things, you need to address that with yourself, and you need to kind of think about that. The thing you need to understand is are you jealous? You have to understand where your jealousies are coming from. People who are in polyamorous relationships believe in, well, believe in, there's an emotion called compersion, and the idea of compersion is if your partner is happy, that makes you happy. And I think that is very selfless, and it's a selfless form of love, to be happy. If you are jealous about your partner, why are you jealous? Are you jealous because they're giving attention to someone else and they don't give the same attention to you? Then that might be a question about the relationship. If you are jealous because you feel possessive and that they're yours, then that is an unhealthy jealousy. Then that is you sort of claiming a person, and every person should be free. That's. I know I'm not being elegant in how I'm saying that, but Wendy, would you want to add to that? She's unmuting.
I am. Do you want to repeat the question for me if you don't mind?
I'll put it back up on screen.
Perfect.
How do you deal with jealousy?
Oh, awesome. That's a very good question. I'm learning that as I go. I feel like it depends on the situations, in my opinion. And being mindful is a great step to any of those situations. First, kind of addressing your feelings, reflecting inwards, seeing if there's anything you can see why you feel that way, and communicating effectively with your partner if it's in a situation with your partner, or whoever it's involving, really. But I think it's really important to make sure that you know what you want to communicate to them before you go ahead with that, because sometimes situations with jealousy can be a little complicated, so you do want to take the time to look inward.
Ms. Meow, your thoughts?
Again, everything comes back to communication. And I think if you're feeling jealous about something, it's important to not necessarily just keep it to yourself, because there's obviously a reason that you're feeling it. It could stem from something you've experienced in your past that you're having trouble working through. It could be an issue you have with your partner. It could be, honestly, it could be any number of things, and it could be solved by any number of things. And if you don't talk about it, you can't address it and you can't fix it. So first step is talk it out.
Exactly. Well, self-realization and talking out, I think, are the two key components there. I think we're just going to do a few more questions. How are the two of you feeling? I know I've been talking about how terrible my day has been. Have you two had good days? A good day?
I had a day. It was Wednesday. I went to work and then I came home. It was a day.
It was a day.
Every day feels the same lately.
And now you have a good scotch. And Wendy?
Yes.
I'm very, very happy to be on this show. It is the highlight of my day today. So it doesn't matter about the rest of the day. I'm happy.
Yes.
Are you doing another? Well, Wendy is doing the Cosmic Bonbon show every Sunday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and she has her artwork available for sale online. So if you follow, it's Cosmic Bonbons on Instagram. That's where her show is, and you can also find out about her artwork that is for sale. on there as well. And Ms. Meow, do you have any shows coming up?
I do. I just announced a new show actually this week. I am teaming up with Burlesque Sanka Set to put on my birthday show next month. So anyone who's been following my career or who is my friend or family knows that this would have been the 6th annual Postmodern Jukebox birthday burlesque show that I've been putting on at the Wiggle Room. And obviously I can't make that happen in person, so we're bringing it online. And the show was just announced and the lineup was just announced, and it's going to be happening, starting on my actual birthday on September 17th. And it'll premiere on YouTube. It'll be available for the whole weekend from Thursday night until Sunday night. And I hope that you will all attend and buy a virtual ticket and watch the show and celebrate my birthday with me from afar. Because I'm really, really, really going to miss the tradition of being there in person with all of you. So I hope to see you all there.
Alicia saying those shows are the best for birthday celebrating. I do agree. And hopefully online will be great. If it involves Ms. Meow, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited. It's a really killer lineup, and I mean, I love Postmodern Jukebox. They're absolutely my favorite, which is why that's the theme that we do for that. And Aliza would know that it's good for celebrating because we have the same birthday. So she often comes to the birthday show and celebrates her birthday with my birthday. So.
I'm just going to, do you have your own website? Meow? I know that you have Facebook, Ms. Meow Productions.
Yeah, I have a Facebook for my burlesque, but I'll be very honest, I have not been using Facebook much in the past 7, 8, 9 months. I don't even know how long now, but you can really find me mostly on Instagram. And if you look up Burlesque Sanka Set, they're going to have all the details on the show too.
Okay. Which Instagram should I mention for people writing out? We had a request that I write them out so people could see them properly.
Okay. You can put my Yael kitten, which is my main one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll quickly give you the link.
And that is also, though, I believe I have it here. That is also visible from your link tree as well.
Yeah, it is. Everything's in my link tree.
So
okay, you have it.
Yeah, and the link tree is right there. And the link tree for donations for this show is on this, running along the bottom, and that would be split between my two guests and myself. If you click the buy me a drink there. On that link tree.
If you guys have enjoyed the show, you should tip us.
Exactly. I'm so bad for asking about that. And Cosmic Bonbons, you can find out. That's Wendy Bonbons Instagram. You can find out about the Cosmic Bonbons show. That is every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 11 p.m. Newfoundland time. Yeah. All right. She unmuted herself for the so Tim Rowcliffe, if you want those, I can also message that to you privately. You can always send me a message. And Sarah Lazar popped in a question. Dear Love Doctor, how would you recommend coming out as non-binary? It all depends on the reaction you expect. I know a lot of people are afraid when it comes to coming out to family members. If you feel unsafe, do it in a public area. Like you can do it quietly in a food court or something. If you feel unsafe, if you want friends around you or close by, have them there. But if you're worried about coming out to your family, but if you're not worried, family should be about love and support. And if they do not love and support you, do you even need to bother coming out to them? That's all there is to it. I don't know if that's too harsh, suggesting just kind of writing off people like that, because I don't ever want to write off people. But you are who you are, and that should be good enough to explain who you are. Wendy, what's your thoughts?
In my own personal experience, when I came out of the closet, not necessarily as non-binary but as gay, I came out to people who I cared about the most and felt the most comfortable with first. So whenever I meet people who are asking me for advice on how to proceed in such situations, that's what I normally recommend, because those are the people that I felt most supported by at the time, and those are the people I could see supporting me the most. And I think that through any transition in life, it's so important to have a strong support group to keep you feeling good when maybe you're up against some harder obstacles, like talking to people and having hard conversations that they may not fully understand or want to understand. So I think if you're going to come out to the people who you care about and want to support you the most, and put your effort into that first.
And Ms. Meow?
Again, I completely agree with Wendy. And I think part of coming out to the people who will support you the most is also being able to use that as a practice run. You know, if you're approaching someone who you know will react well, you get to practice the approach you're taking, you get to practice the language you're using. And every time you do that, it might get just a little bit easier to open up to someone new.
I think that was fantastic answers from both of you. And I agree wholeheartedly. No one ever deserves to feel uncomfortable or hurt because of who they are. You are who you are, and that is okay. And I'm going to leave it with this last question. We've been well over an hour already, so I've got this last question. I had the chance to read it, but I saw the one that came in from Sarah, and I wanted to deal with that one first. But this one is, can pants spontaneously, is that combust? Oh, it is combust. I thought it was come off. Can pants spontaneously combust? No. They usually require some sort of an accelerant. I don't care how fast you're running in corduroys. They will not burst into flames. But the thing is, maybe you shouldn't run in corridors. That could be a safety issue. Ms. Meow, your thoughts? Can pants spontaneously combust?
Can pants spontaneously combust? I don't know. Let's find out.
Pretty hot pants. I've seen some pretty hot pants. That's for sure.
Maybe. I honestly, I wouldn't know. I don't often wear pants, so I'm more of a skirts and dresses kind of gal. But I don't know. Let's find out.
And Wendy, I do want to point out that Muzzle loves both love cocktail pants look pretty hot. You know, he's got a nice ass. Wendy.
I personally don't think pants can spontaneously combust, but I'd be willing to find out.
That's a brilliant answer. Just as a reminder, I'm just going to put the banners up there again so you know how to follow these wonderful people. Or if you want to donate to Wendy Bonbons, it's paypal.me/Wendy Bonbons. If you want to find all the connection for Yael Kitten or for Miss Meow, it is www.linktr.ee/Yael Kitten. That's YAELKITTEN. I am the Love Doctor. For updates about this show, you can check. I'm not sure if I'm freezing here. There we go. You can check the Facebook where the schedule for this show. We are currently every Wednesday, but I believe that is going to be changing in the near future. So I might be asking your opinions about when you want to watch this show, all the shows. We'll find out exactly when. And if you're looking for a great school for burlesque or for exercise or just learning the art of the tease, there's Arabesque Burlesque. I am the Love Doctor. Mazel Tov Cocktail, thank you for making this such a great show. And thank you, Sarah Lalazar, for your question.
Love you too, Sarah.
Love you all. Thank you all, everybody who's out there. I'm the Love Doctor. This is the Love Doctor live stream. This has been episode 20. 20, can you imagine that? We've done 20 in confinement.
Amazing.